Hey, give me 1 second. Sorry. All right, I wanted to hop on. I've been in the process of making videos, and I'm always so nervous doing like videos of me by myself. So to kind of bring myself back down from being nervous of doing that, I decided to hop on and do live. Sometimes the social interaction that you guys have with me helps distract me from the nervousness that I actually have of doing videos. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of start out. My name is Hope, and I'm from Hope Sugar Gliders and Boutique, formerly known as Hope's Happy Homestead. And it's incredibly important with all the scamma-jammas going on and everything. Please know that anything that says Hope's Happy Homestead or Hope Sugar Gliders and Boutique, that is me. That is not anyone else but me. When it comes to sales or pictures of that kind of stuff, if you see that being used elsewhere, just know that that's a scam, and Hope's Sugar Gliders and Boutique and Hope's Happy Homestead is me. I did do a name change to focus more on the gliders to help people find my content easier. So I just don't want you to be confused by that. I am Hope's Happy Homestead, and it's just I changed the name to be able to be more visible for people for sugar gliders. Okay, so this is a boys setup. A lot of times I have questions when people are getting gliders. One, when choosing a breeder, there always is going to be someone cheaper. There's always going to be someone that doesn't mentor. There's always going to be someone that just wants to do the sale. And that's a personal choice that people have in choosing their gliders. For me, if you're choosing me to do business with me or choosing my gliders, one, thank you, I appreciate it. I do always have gliders available. I am going through a downsize, so I have more than I normally would. But when you're choosing me, you're choosing my family. I mean, the gliders, I love them. I hope that you'll go through my videos. I've got years and years of content, but you're choosing my gliders. I do choose to do the Brisbane cages. I do the free runner wheels. I do toys. I do a high quality diet. So yes, sometimes, honestly, my gliders are a little more expensive because of that, but that's because of the care that goes into it. I need to offset that. And so when you're purchasing from me, just know that your gliders are being raised in a wonderful situation, and they are part of my family. And I hope that people who have gotten gliders from me before understand that. I do a lot of documentation and medical and vetting and stuff because the gliders, I want to learn. And the longer that we own them, the more we can learn from them. So I document a lot of that. I know there's a lot of new followers who don't know me. I've been breeding, I don't know how many years. It's got to be like 7-8 years. But so I thought it was really important because one of the things that people have anxieties about when getting gliders is how do you start the process? And so I wanted to go live and do a video so that way, one, you can ask questions, and then two, it makes it a little easier for me to refer people to this video to watch. So when choosing gliders from me, I try to match the glider to you. Like I get basic information of what you're looking for and a budget that you're looking for. And then I kind of look through who I have and send you options. When I do it, I love talking on the phone, and I know some people can't stand that, but I can relay a lot of information to you through talking on the phone than what I can through texting. And I also do a lot of videos. So if I'm doing a video for you, I'll talk to you in the video, and I'll say this one I think would be a good match for this reason, and blah, blah, blah. And so when I send videos to you, it could have been a video I made for someone else, but they ended up choosing a different glider. So I usually communicate that to you also. So when it comes to picking the gliders, once we've got that set up, there is transport. I do have gliders go nationwide, so don't think that because I'm only in Texas that my gliders stay in Texas. That's just absolutely not true. When it comes to discussing transport, I do keep that a little more private because I don't want the scamma-jammas to learn how we do it and to copy that info to scamma-jamma. I have to watch the wording of it too because that seems to attract people. Scamma-jammas to then use that info to rip more people off, okay? So I can discuss all that with you, but I do post maps. That's not me personally doing those. It is me working with the company, and then you get to pick and choose what company you'd like to work with. We've been using them for years. And so this is one of my cage setups. Some of you saw me do putting this together, and that was incredibly frustrating. But I want to use this as an example. I have lots of videos of my breeder cages too, but Pet only, I do sell a lot of pet only, and I love selling pet only because I want you guys to spoil my gliders rotten. If they have wheels, they have toys, they have a high quality diet, I want to send my gliders to where they're going to continue to have that. When I ask to see your setups or ask to see what you have, it's because I truly want to make sure that you're being set up for success and my gliders are being set up for success too. So this is my boy only colony. There's 9 boys in here in between the ages of 10 down to 1. And I'll show you them real quick. I just give them some treats because I was doing, someone's in this toy here. No Ears is, okay. So let me just give him a little treat. So No Ears has no ears, and he absolutely, I don't know if you can see him in there. Can we like zoom in? Ooh, maybe we can. I'm sorry, I'm still learning computer stuff. Okay, well that didn't work. Okay, whatever. Sorry, I tried. But he's in there eating his little fish stick, okay? I like to leave the doors open and the windows open when it's nice out. So I did have a fly come in. So if you see a fly, that's because I left the door open because I like fresh air. But feel free to ask questions. I don't know what I did when I did that, if I took the comments out or what, but feel free to ask questions. But I'm going to show you my boys. They're neutered. And I'll give them some treats. Okay. I do love helping people build neuter-only colonies. I don't sell intact male colonies. Okay, so that's Duncan. We're doing the fish sticks today. I do fish sticks very rarely because they have been tested, and of course it's fish, so there's some mercury in there. So I'm really kind of choosy about that. This is my thing of treats. I got a little of everything in here, but there's some very happy little boys. Okay. To start out, of course, choosing your glider. Oh yeah, get in there. Choosing your glider is some of the most stressful and exciting things at the same time. Having a budget in mind. When Scamma-Jammas are getting you, it's because they're offering gliders for like $200-300 for 2, because all they want is your money. That's it. That's not realistic. And so when you're actually purchasing from a breeder who's real, their prices are higher because we're the ones actually providing the care. We're the ones buying the stuff to be able to take care of them, and so our prices are more expensive than that. So don't be frustrated with us because they're more expensive. That's realistically, like some of my breeders, I paid from $800 all the way up to $5,000 for, okay? And that's because I wanted to work with particular lines. And are you bickering? So I'm going to switch him over to a different treat because I don't want to keep giving him the fish sticks. But so we don't have the same prices as scammers because we're not scammers. We're real people doing the work, feeding the gliders, taking care of them, and doing all that. So our prices are going to be more expensive. So please don't be surprised by that. If you got scammed by a scammer, I'm incredibly sorry. I mean, but I didn't scam you. So I can't match the prices they told you because I didn't steal the money from you. Somebody else did. And so that's just something to remember. I know that a lot of breeders have a hard time with that because we are real and we are doing this. So we can't go as low as scammers. They were just trying to get $50 to $300 from you. Some have gotten $3,500. So that's not me, okay? Please check out profiles. Please check out reviews. They do post fake reviews, but if you click on the profiles, you'll see that those profiles aren't real people. Or ask in groups that are legit, like Sugar Glider Groupies, Sugar Gliders ABCs 123s, Sugar Glider Guardians, and ask if that person's real before giving them money. I do like to talk on the phone though, so a lot of times my customers feel comfortable with me because I am a real person and I'm very happy to talk to you on the phone. So I'm going to put the boys back and just discuss choosing cages. Okay, so now you've picked out your gliders, you put a deposit down, we worked on setting up transport, things start coming together, but now you are starting to get nervous because you have to start planning your setup. Okay, I have a lot of videos on setups. I have vendors I suggest, but I'm not going to post who those vendors are due to the fact that vendors can change. They can change because they either go out of business and stop doing it. They can change because the way they may socially interact with people or treat me may not be exactly what I'm comfortable with, and I'll never talk badly about them, but it's not going to be somebody I just openly suggest. The quality of work can change. They can go from making these outstanding things to kind of being frustrated or being annoyed and not put as much time into the items. Same with sewing. So I don't necessarily list those vendors on something I want to have stay up for the whole life of my company, but I'm happy to send you screenshots. Boys, are you bickering? You're like, yes, I am. They're bickering over the last treats, okay? No Ears is smart. He's like, I'm going to go hang out in my little truck. He loves that truck. Again, it's not that I ever want to say anything bad about vendors, because I love vendors and I think they're incredibly important for what we do to be able to have our gliders stay in the enriching environment that they have. It's just, I do have the right to pick and choose who I want to work with, and you can work with whoever you want to. So, obviously you hear that because I hear it. Boys, why don't you stop? Oh. Okay, so they're just going through the last of the remnants, and some want some while the others are getting it. But that's just, it's normal, okay? There's a bunch of gliders with treats in there, so they'll work through their little tisking. Their fights have never been, like, outrageous or anything, but that's what two gliders bickering sounds like. I do live, so that way you can see real life gliders. Okay, so when it comes to, you pick your gliders, put your deposit down, work out your payment plan, and we work on transport. I get you hooked up with a transport company. Again, watch out for scammajamas. Okay, I'm not going to go into big details on how we do that to avoid that. And now it's time to start picking cages. This one is large because I've got 9 boys in it. But you can also purchase cages from Amazon, and you can purchase from Exotic Nutrition. If you're doing Exotic Nutrition, please be aware that a lot of the products on there are not safe. Same with on Chewy, same with on Amazon. A lot of products there are made in mass productions and not geared towards the safety of sugar gliders. So if you're purchasing those products, there's a very likely chance you're buying unsafe things. So please, whoever you're working with, and I always tell my customers too, send me a picture before you purchase it, because otherwise you could be wasting your money, or you can be putting something unsafe in there that you don't want to accidentally have your glider lose its life over. And I'll discuss some of that too. I don't know if anybody's commenting or if you guys are just being like super sweet and just letting me talk. But if there's questions, like, I don't know how to do this. Oh, oh my gosh, there's a lot of comments. I'm so sorry. All right. Am I single? I'm married, but that's very sweet of you. Hi guys. It's so sweet to see everybody on here. She's not, she's not here. Oh, Nellie, you're sweet. All right. So anyway, I'll kind of zoom through those, but I don't want to lose track of what I'm saying. So we've picked out gliders, set up transport tentatively, and then we need to start gathering supplies. So cages. This one is huge. If you want to go huge, go huge. But you can also do like the Brisbane. There's a Yatachi. There's a Double Critter Nation. There's a few others. And the most important thing to think of when you're doing cages is I need to plug my phone in real quick, because otherwise my phone's going to die. So let me get an extension cord and try and attach. Oh, no, I'm not going to be able to. All right, well, we'll just work until it dies, I guess. And then I'll have to make another video once I charge my phone. So doing the cages, it's incredibly important. It has to be a 1/2 inch or smaller. Your gliders can get out. And so I usually kind of do the finger test. If my whole finger goes through it, which sometimes it does, that tells me that I need to watch that area, and I may need to put like a plastic mesh over it. And the plastic mesh you can use, here, this is a toy that I bought, but let me just use that as an example. So you can put like this type of Tenex mesh over the areas that you feel like they could escape from. No cage is ever like 100% perfect. So just go through and kind of do the finger test. But it's really important if it says like 5/8 inch or anything bigger like that. A lot of bird cages, specifically for birds, are an inch or bigger, or for like ferrets and chinchillas. So that is incredibly important. I can't tell you how many people lose their animals to accidental death because they escaped out. So please check out the spacing and send me a picture to say, hey, is this one safe? Is it not? I've been doing this long enough where I have an idea. I can look at a cage and say yay or nay. Okay. So you pick your cage. Now you're excited. Don't forget the cage cover. Okay. If you're going to order one. But if you're going to go to Joann's, go with the measurements to keep it nice and simple for the lady who's cutting your fabric. I choose to go for light colored ones. All of mine are light gray because I have a lot of darker gliders. So I like to be able to look in and see everything nice and bright. I love brightness. Okay. So now we've got our cage cover. Now let's talk diet. I do have a Facebook video on diets. There are certain suggested diets, but it's a personal choice. My gliders get fed a wet diet, but have access to kibble 24/7. You have the choice of like BML, TPG, Go HPW. A lot of people just keep them on the same diet I'm on, but that's your choice. It's your lifestyle, your choice. Some people suggest more of a kibble diet. If you're doing more of a kibble diet, please make sure you're weighing your gliders more frequently, because kibble, though is great for teeth, sometimes if a glider's not drinking enough water, it can cause some dehydration because they're not getting all that moisture like if you were feeding a wet diet. Okay, so choosing your diet, I'll usually send you the video of the 3 diets, and then you pick what you want. When you pick what you want, then tell me, so that way I can tell you where to get the vitamins or where I can tell you where to purchase from, because each place varies on where you get it from. So that's another thing to consider when getting gliders. So we've got pick the gliders. Yay, exciting. Then I've most likely set up or working on setting up transport. Then we've got picking a cage and a cage cover. Remember, cage covers are important. And it's important. I like to use fleece. Some people use shower curtains, but they pull stuff in and chew on it. So if you're using something that's unsafe or has strings showing, you're allowing them to pull them in and possibly get hurt on. So I do like to use the fleece on mine, and it really does protect your walls. And if you want to test it out, go the first few days without a cage cover, and then I guarantee you'll want to put a cage cover on. All right, let me just look at this real quick. Nellie, you're so cute. I don't know why it's not scrolling up for me. I have a question. If they're in pouch. Oh, I don't know why my phone's not working. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, free roaming should be in a safe environment and under supervision. Yes. I have a question. Can they free? Okay, so I actually had a customer ask me about setting up a room safe for gliders today. Her gliders will be getting to her in a couple days, and so she's trying to glider proof her room. And so yes, they can have free roam, but you always want to have it where you're putting them back. The little things can happen. I've had gliders pass away, not me personally, but gliders I've sold to people pass away from accidents. A lot of times it's a cat or dog gets it. The window's been left open and you didn't realize it and the glider got out. You accidentally stepped on it. It was in your clothes and you threw your clothes in the washer. These are some other breeders who came to me and told me these things happened. The glider was in their clothing. They didn't know it was a pile on the floor. They grabbed it, put it in the washer. The glider passed away. So very traumatic things can happen that could be avoided if you didn't allow free roam. If you're doing free roam, set a time limit on it. Watch where your gliders are at. Make sure that they're not around electrical. They're not like rabbits who chew electrical cords, but you still want to be aware of it. They get into little spaces. I was doing a video for a customer and I had a glider get away from me. I mean, it happens. And it crawled up into the washer, the dishwasher. So I was like, oh my gosh, I couldn't get it out. I mean, I couldn't pull out the dishwasher. I couldn't do all that. So I had to set up a video camera and watch and then wait for the glider to finally come out and pray that it came out. And I could have avoided that if I had done it a little bit different. So be aware, free roaming is wonderful and it helps with bonds. But if it's brand new, the glider's brand new to it, you're kind of encouraging it to stay away from you than to learn how to be on you, okay? They get up in curtains. I mean, they can get into anywhere that's like this big. So be aware of that when you're allowing the free roam. You can do it safely though. I don't know, and it could be because my phone is getting close to dying, but I'm not sure why it's making it hard for me to scroll up. Okay, wondering about that. I've been following her and I'm almost ready. Well, that's very cool. All right. Hi, Randy. So now we've got some of the first basics to it, and now let's kind of talk about filling up your cage. Gliders in the wild would be jumping from tree to tree, interacting, eating bugs, eating eggs, eating birds, eating all this, chewing on woods and doing all this. So we as humans need to try and provide that type of environment for them as safely as we can. So when it comes to toys, I have different vendors I prefer to work with. I'm not going to say their names now, but each one has created different things to fit the needs of my gliders. My gliders love chewing on things. That's kind of the joke, is how much they love chewing on things. And so let me show you some up close here, because I'm not going to pull their toys out. But this is a toy I'm using as example, okay? My gliders, the gliders don't care what it looks like. They want to interact and they want to live and they want to be happy. Me as a human, I want cute stuff. I want to look at that cage and be like, oh my gosh, it's so cute, So I have different themes. When you're working with vendors, even like for your cage cover, you can say, oh, I wanted to do a shark theme, or, oh, I wanted to do a John Deere green theme. Those vendors are so great with working with people that they can help customize a toy for you. And if you let the vendor know I'm getting gliders from Hope, almost every single vendor knows that my gliders are heavy chewers, very heavy. And so lots of natural, safe woods. Okay, this is cork. And then straws. They love tugging and pulling on straws. They love tugging and pulling on these little safe fake flowers. They love pulleys. And so I just like cute stuff. Okay, so all my stuff is kind of frilly and decked out. But it's frilly. It's got like little tree cups. You can see actually that they chewed on the tree cup. Okay. And so that one I probably just will be sanded down. And so that way they can keep working on it. But putting treats in places and hiding it, or pieces of kibble, you can see they chew on all that. I got heavy chewers. And, okay, so Maureen, I do not do a link for favorite vendors. If you want to message me personally, my vendors changed based on if they're still in business, if the quality of work has changed. I usually don't openly stop suggesting people, but I can send you the ones I suggest at this moment, because at this moment I've worked with them and they continue to provide like safe toys and good care, and they treat my customers really well and make them feel like they're being listened to. So I can send you some of the ones I'm suggesting now. Some of them are newer, and then some have been around for a really long time. But I don't want to start any kind of drama that's unnecessary over vending and who I'm suggesting and who I'm not. But I'm happy to work with you on that. A lot of groups have safe AVLs that you can go and look at. And then some vendors I do use aren't always on the AVL or haven't been tested yet. So again, I'm kind of like choosy, and I don't want to get into that weird gray area. So, yeah, I just don't. But I am happy to work with you on finding a person that you would be comfortable working with. Cork, I usually let the vendors pick and choose. I did buy a whole bunch of cork that I have in storage. But it's important to make sure it's cleaned and it's like disinfected, no bugs and all that kind of stuff on it. So yeah, this is an example of a toy. My gliders love this, chew this. I mean, even though I wash it, you can still see where the teeth marks are, and it sometimes still is a little messy from them. But this is an example of one. And then I have others too. Again, interaction is very important. Okay, this one I'm sure some of y'all have seen. This one, when this one was created, there wasn't all this. They add woods to it because of how heavy my chewers are. Now, when they're adding woods, I have them put the holes through the center, because for vendors who put it through the top, my gliders chew it off and then they never touch it again. This makes them have to work a little harder when chewing. If you watch some of my other videos, you can see the pulleys. My gliders use pulleys a lot. When you're doing pulleys, put the pulley close to their pouch or closer, because what that does, hi no ears, what that does is it gives them something to try and take home to bed, okay? So when they're doing pulleys, they're usually trying to build their like little nest in there, or when they're biting off the chunks of wood, they're trying to build their little area. So put a few pulleys next to their pouch, but far enough where they kind of work for it. That way they have the satisfaction of, oh, look what I found and brought home, okay? But they love these. They actually pop these open and just chew away on them. So these are the little macaroons. A lot of toys. I hope I shaved my arms. Sorry if I didn't shave my armpits, but I wasn't thinking that when I was doing the video. So when they do that, these are kind of hard to put back on, but it tells you how strong they are to get them off. I don't think I can even get that one back on. But, oh, here we go. Okay, it's because you have to put it... Okay, so it does go on. You just have to look at it. Okay. But yeah, so my gliders really like a lot of rubber chewies. And so you'll notice that a lot of stuff gets really chewed on. And they'll shred these coconut rinds. I did a video to show you how my mom, one of the moms built a nest with these coconut things. And so I like the interactive. They like the chew. So those are the type of toys I go for. This toy is great. But because when you're new, I try not to encourage hiding. And so this toy has like a lot of the fun things of the little treat cups. You can even put their kibble in it. It's got the pulleys. It's got the little things, the little fringe in here. Now, my gliders like to hide, and I don't like to encourage hiding, especially if gliders are brand new to people. I try to avoid toys where they can hide, like the trash cans or like anything where you'd have to stick your hand to get them, because that encourages biting. If a glider's scared and that sees this going towards, guess what? You're going to get bit. And I don't want that for you. You're brand new to them, a lot of times super nervous. So you can advance to these kind of toys. And this toy would be really easy for me to fix. All I would do is put a big piece of cork over this, and then it would be good to go. So I use this toy for the gliders who I know aren't going to hide from me. But if you're brand new, I just really strongly suggest doing things that they're not hiding from, okay? This can encourage biting, but this toy itself is awesome. So this would go into a cage where they don't have that. But again, lots of stuff to do. Okay, and then this one over here, I've got a lot of toys, but I do it because I want to show you guys examples. This one is super cute. Okay, but again, a lot of chews. My gliders will chew these little discs off really quickly, okay? And then it's got pulleys, and it's cute. I love butterflies. I love all that kind of stuff. And then here's... here's more. Okay, I mean, I love toys for my gliders. The more they have to do, the more they have to play with, feels good for me, okay? So now, those are just examples of some safe toys. Now, let me show you some unsafe toys, and I don't know what the charge is on my phone. Let me see if it'll show me. It won't. Okay, but let me just, real quick. I picked up this cage online because I needed to have another temporary cage. And so I saved this stuff. Okay. All right, this is a hot mess. But I saved the stuff because I wanted to use this as an example of what not to use. Okay. So one, I feel bad. The lady's gliders passed away in like 2 weeks. Okay. But it was fed an unsafe diet and had a lot of unsafe stuff. So rope, not safe. Dyed woods, not safe. Metal rusts not safe. Okay, this rusts, it's not safe. These are designed for birds, not for sugar gliders. Birds don't have the same need to grab stuff. Like the ropes can get wrapped around their toes, get wrapped around their tails, all that kind of stuff. Okay, then there was I would never go out and buy this stuff to show you because I don't want to encourage like people thinking that it's safe. But like doing stuff like that, there's just no social interaction to that. And there's metal, so it rusts. This too, they don't know the types of wood and it's metal. Okay. And then, let's see, okay, the gliders were actually chewing on. So we don't know if they're chewing on it and it's unsafe. It can cause blockages, that kind of stuff. And then there's just so many things that I just don't suggest in this. And this is what the cage was filled with. So please send pictures before buying because this is unsafe. Okay. Also, cat toys. There's like a crap ton of cat toys in the cage too, okay? Like all this cat toy stuff, this is stuff that's not safe for them. Not safe. Not safe. This is filled with stuffing. They chew stuff, not safe. Okay? So these aren't good things to do. And I only saved them so I could do a video to show you guys why we don't suggest that kind of stuff. Okay, but before I go, let me wash my hands real quick because I was just touching that stuff. And so I don't want to mix it with mine. Okay. So I'm going to talk about wheels real quick too, because that's like super important. Okay. Does bonding prevent, what type of behaviors prevent bonding? Okay. It's free roaming. Sorry, I'm trying to scroll through this. They are over it. I'm switching them out weekly. Okay, Maureen, that's really cool that you're switching them out like that. Does bonding prevent biting? What type of behaviors? Bonding is a process. It can take a few days up to a few years. It depends on the glider. And I think it's really important that when you guys look at these gliders, look at them as little kids who just left everything that they know and they're going to kindergarten for the first time. They're leaving mom and dad behind and they're scared. Okay. We are huge compared to them and we're scared. If you start looking at them from the perspective of, okay, they're scared right now. That's why they're crabbing. That's why they're biting. It'll soften your heart towards them instead of thinking they hate you or they're mean or all these negative things. They're scared. That's it. Scared. They don't know hate like humans. They know, oh, this person scares me. This person's doing this to me, but they don't know hate. So please don't look at it as though that's what it is. When gliders are scared and sometimes more aggressive, it's because they're trying to tell you something. Like for me, wheels are incredibly important. And let me show you. Okay, I don't have the other version of this, the unsafe one, but this is a free runner wheel. Look how big this wheel is. When you see 3-4 gliders running around in this, it's because they're having fun and they're choosing to do that. I have a wonderful customer who thought she was buying this wheel, but it turned out it was the unsafe version. And she sent me a video because she was like stoked. She's like, oh my gosh, the gliders are loving the wheel. And I noticed when the two were running on it, they were stumbling over each other. It's because the track of it is only like that big. Okay? Might even be a little smaller than that. But it's narrow, so it makes it harder for them to run and jump and interact on. Plus the center cap doesn't sit as flush as this one does. And the back space, that's really important too. If you look at the other wheel, there's like this much space in the back. Gliders can get caught behind that. This has more space because when one glider's running and playing, the other one may be coming up the back of the cage to get ready to hop onto the track. So you need to have that safe space in between here for them to run and move freely. The other wheel doesn't have that, okay? So please really make sure if you're purchasing the free runner that it's the free runner. They also have a disc that's great. If you have heavy chewers, I do have different wheels I use. I prefer this, but if I had to switch to a different one because I have heavy chewers, it's this. Look at the heavy chewing on this wheel. Okay? They chew the heck out of it. But it's the stainless steel one, and I've had this one for years. And there's only a few of my cages, I think 4, that have this wheel because they're such heavy chewers. But what I've noticed is they don't chew the discs as often, my heavy chewers. So those ones that are the chewers, I usually do a metal one and then one of the Free Runner discs. I just really love the Free Runner brand and what they stand for and the quality. So I want to always have some sort of Free Runner. If I can't have the wheel because one of my cages chews it too much, I have the disc, okay? But this is a stainless steel track, and this is for my heavy chewers. You can see the work that they've done on this. But having a safe wheel is incredibly important. One, it helps them run out their anxieties and their frustration. In the wild, they would be running and jumping from tree to tree. We don't have that for them. So we need to provide the thing that they can do it in a big enough space where they can in and out access it, not be running in their feces, and be able to enjoy themselves. The clearance on the back of this one is even bigger. This has to be like screwed in more. It's too heavy for me to do it, so I have to ask my husband. You need like 2 wrenches, and I don't have that. But yeah, so it's just really important. And when you get your wheels, make sure you zip tie the base to the cage, so that way it prevents the wheel from falling. But there's instructions by both companies that have it. The reason why I suggest Free Runner or this one is because the companies have been around for a long time, and they really are some of the best ones and safest ones on the market. And I think it's just incredibly important that people know that there's reasons why we suggest and choose these ones. Okay. Doing water silos is important. I don't know if I went over that, but and water bottles, do one of each if you can. If something happens where the ball of the water bottle gets stuck, then you have the for sure knowing they got water by having the silo. So those are the main things when starting out with gliders, is picking your gliders if they're being transported or arranging pickup, then doing picking your cage, picking your diet, make sure you have a cage cover, make sure you have safe toys. Safe sleep pouches are the same thing. You want to have it. Here's a couple. I got so much stuff, but here's a pouch. Okay, I don't have it where it's closed tight because I like to reach in freely and be able to grab my gliders. Same with this one. This one is super cute. It's like a flower pouch. I make my own pouches, but I also have pet onlys, so I also like to purchase from other vendors too. So doing pouches that are easy access for you to be able to grab them. This is another example. Okay, there's no strings and stuff showing. And so this is one of my favorites just because it's really cute and girly. But this is an idea of another safe pouch. So just be aware that gliders chew. So check your pouches. I did a live video of how my gliders chew. Check your pouches to make sure they're safe and look for any mishaps with them. Having extra C-links on hand. Okay. Here's mine. I always have a whole bunch so that way, and then I have like little stoppers for them or pieces of wood. If you put the pieces of wood, because my gliders like to chew these too. So I've started using wood on them, and then they chew the woods more often than what they chew the plastic. But here's an example of a vendor who put it right at the top. My guys just chew that right off, and then it's no good to them anymore. So yeah, see here too. So I keep them because one day I think maybe I'll drill like a hole. Here's another one. Drill a hole in the middle. But it's just, I don't have time for all that. So those are some examples. But again, that's like the basics of getting started. And I threw a whole bunch of information at you really quick. But this is a live, so this will be here hopefully forever for you to be able to go back and look on. If you're looking for a vendor who does cute name tags, I have some that do cute name tags that I love. So it's really you guys looking to see what you like and making sure it's safe. I can only give you suggestions of what I've used in my cages and how I felt it worked out. But so those are just the starting points of starting up with gliders. As you go, your stuff may change. It's almost like it continues to get better and better because you learn. And then Natural Woods, there's a company, the Eucalyptus Company in California. They have some great wood. My phone is going to die, so I have to cut the video so that way I don't lose this video. So I'm sorry, guys. All right. Oh, no, it says connection slow, so it's not letting me end it. No, 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 no. Oh, no. Hold on. Okay, let me try and like move my phone. I don't know why it's saying connection slow. Okay, here we go. All right. Sorry, guys. I got to end this.